It's a big one. FaZe undefeated so far here at the Intel Extreme Masters Oakland. They go up against SK, defending world champions in a team that have already quite recently been scorned on home turf in Sao Paulo. They have, however, got some taste of revenge, a best-of-1 win versus Cloud9, albeit after a slightly messy second half. One on Dust 2, and now we do prepare for FaZe SK. Will they seriously top their group 4-0? Could even see the fifth come in as well, or will we see it just stop here? And with days to talk through this one, it is of course SK, very fabulous in yellow and green, and FaZe Clan with Karrigan up front. And I'd like to treat this segment a little differently while the rosters are running through. Dazed, I want to kind of pick your brain regarding in-game leadership, because I haven't had this chance before, and I'm sure we'll continue to discuss it further as the weekend progresses. But Karrigan, slap bang in the middle of that roster, had trouble having his calls respected, he said that publicly. And I just want to know how integral that is to find success. You've talked a little about it before, but when people are not respecting your calls, it's just surely impossible to be a successful leader.
Well, first off, I think Karrigan's going into a good situation because he's going into a team that isn't like extremely successful, right? They've had their struggles despite being very, very talented. So they're looking for somebody to give them direction, to kind of point them in the right direction and play as a team. So I think he will be respected in this FaZe lineup and they'll buy in, absolutely. Having said that, one of the worst things you could do is say you're an in-game leader and you say a strat, and you have like 3 or 4 people doing it and buying in fully, and then you have 1 or 2 people that aren't because they don't believe it's like the best option. Right. That's really bad. It's just really, really bad. Okay. It's way better to have 5 people on the same page and maybe doing something that's slightly, wrong.
A compromise?
Well, even if all 5 are doing the right,
I understand.
They all buy in, even if it's not the greatest strat or something like that, as long as everybody's at least buying in, you have a lot better chances of winning the round than like 3 people doing, something that's completely right and 2 people doing something that, just being on the same page is very, very important.
Understood. And I do want to kind of pick your brain. You no doubt have got much more experience in the in-game leadership role to most sitting at home watching. And so what I want you to kind of shed some light on is the struggles and the strife that in-game leaders go into. The last desk I was on in Brazil, it was with Peacemaker and co. And the discussion ended up with the bottom line being, no one enjoys being an in-game leader. Do you agree with those sentiments?
I mean, for a lot of people, it's really tough not to in-game lead just because if somebody else is doing it, you're seeing things that you want to do, and it becomes different. You kind of have to have that like one chief mentality. Having said that, there's complementary like in-game leaders. Like I'm 100% sure Cold from SK gives a lot of input to Fallen, maybe calls rounds as well, and really gives them a lot of help. I don't think Cloud9 has that actually right now, which is pretty troublesome. But going back, we're not talking about Cloud9, we're talking about FaZe.
It's FaZe and SK. Let's not forget. So you get your little bit of Cold and Fallen as well. Yeah,
it was just a tangent. But going back to that question, what was it again?
I was asking you, when it comes to in-game leadership, no one wants to be an in-game leader. Like, this seems to be the general consensus. Moses, Peacemaker, Henry, they all said the same.
I kind of think if you're an in-game leader, you want to have that control. I know it's really hard for me not to in-game lead, coming from personal experience when I have other people doing it. Not because I'm not going to buy in, not because I'm not going to do exactly what what you want, what you say, but just because I feel so confident in my own abilities.
Which confidence is there, but what I'm intrigued to know is, do you genuinely believe that there's more strife than there is benefit to taking that leadership role? Is there a lot of negativity and extra work that comes into that?
First off, you generally almost always take the blame.
Yes.
Yet, unless you're one putting up the frags too, you're probably not going to take much of the credit. It's generally the person that's getting the frags that's going to get the credit, right? So that's first off. Second off, your own personal stats are almost always going to suffer greatly. I mean, Fallen stats sometimes suffer, Stewie stats suffer. There's not many in-game leaders who just perform regularly very, very well. Sure. Because you're literally looking at your radar half the time.
In this tournament, we just did the side-by-side comparison. Both of them have been looking great. We saw Karrigan have a great performance, Fallen sitting there alongside him.
Oh, yeah, you can. But, I mean, Fallen's not statistically... He's probably the second worst statistical player on the team. I would think Taco is bottom statistically, then probably Fallen, then FNX, and then Fur, and then Cold. I would assume. Maybe FNX is sometimes below Fallen, but he's almost never top fragging, and he's opping. Remember. Yeah. Generally, your oppers have the highest stats, the best stats. And a lot of that's because he's in-game leading. Trust me, like, he sacrifices a lot. A lot of time when you're in-game leading, you're the one going in with a Tech 9, dying for the team, and things like that. Of course, there are in-game leaders. Like a lot of the time, we'll see Shock still in-game lead on a lot of teams that he's been on. Sometimes he sets himself up. But generally speaking, you absolutely can. It's definitely an option. But generally speaking, your own personal statistics suffer.
Right, and that's as seen by many as an accepted fate for these in-game leaders.
You got to do it.
Now with SK, there's one map in particular that has not been seen for a while, of course, given their recent success. We haven't seen it once for them here in IEM Oakland, and it's Train. This has been an incredible map for them, and an insane couple of wins. We've even seen them drop like 4 rounds in 2 maps on Train in the past.
It should be an auto ban if you play against SK.
An auto ban in Dazed words. Now,
should.
I'd like you to quickly explain some of the strengths on this map. We have got the Telestrator available, and we're going to be looking at some of SK's T-side strengths.
So, as you see on the Telestrator, we have Train, and one of the things that SK does so well on Train is set up their oppers, especially cold. And can you please stop, Alex? You're really distracting me right now.
Just doing some stretches.
Cold and Fallen, they're set up so well, especially when they take bomb sites for post-plant positioning. So in this clip, we're going to see an intertake by them, and this is something that most teams don't do, but you'll see with SK here, when they take inter, look at this. It's a dry take. They immediately jump down, and look where Fallen gets. Yeah, the Molotov goes out, he takes some damage, but not only does he get simple, but there's no smokes to cover off Z. And when you rotate as a CT, and you can't rotate through Z because an op's there, guess what happens? You either have to smoke or you have to flash to try to push him off. You know what's going to occur? The T's are going to get pushed up. They're going to get very advanced positions. Past Oil, past Pop Dog, up close towards Z, even into CT Cloud and Connector, and all of a sudden the round's over, just based off that one kill.
What's so crazy to me is Simple literally had a Molotov ready to see, just a toe, just as a noise, ready to throw that molly towards ramp, and by the time he did release it, 2 Ts were already in on site. That's how quick that was.
Some people think it's crazy that you try to take inter like that. There's definitely counters to it. A really good player on top of Pop Dog, the left angle when you're underneath upper, around the bomb train, a lot of time you can multi-frag there, but it's a risk. But if the risk pays off, you're almost certainly going to win the round. Not only that, but a lot of the time, maybe that guy takes 2 players, but you trade kill. And if you trade kill and Fallen is alive or cold, and they have an op at lower or at the Pop Dog, I'm telling you, they can win 2v4s. They can win 2v3s. Right. They're set up for success. And so objective 1 is just getting onto the side, which they seem to do oh so well. And likely won't be seeing Train. In fact, we can answer that question right now. Why don't we go ahead and unsummon the vetoes? There it goes once again. And Nuke is going to be showing up. Yeah, I'm very surprised by that. Usually SK's second ban is Nuke. They do play it, and they have been playing it. They play it from time to time. They're their main ban, they pretty much always ban Cash. Yeah. Right? But then that's like their secondary ban. So I'm a little concerned by that. It's probably their least played map, I would say. Yeah. But yeah, FaZe, they always ban Cobble like we've seen throughout this whole tournament. So this is interesting. It's almost like SK have thrown FaZe a bone here. I mean, let's not forget, SK did have the choice between Dust 2 and Nuke. They probably maybe just chose the lesser of 2 evils in that regard. But they might be thinking, you know what? They might be looking at FaZe here, and they might be saying, okay, I think they're very weak on Nuke. So even though that's probably our second, our least played map, we don't auto ban it. But having said that, they they might not be so good at it. It's safe to assume, okay, like a team with no structure and that's not done their homework. Like, let's not forget, Karrigan hasn't had an abundance of time to work with this team. The first map on your list is not going to be Nuke. No, absolutely not. Generally, if you're, they're just a few weeks with Karrigan here. You're going to work on the other maps, absolutely. Starting with the more open maps and things of that nature. Interesting to see how this one does play out. I mean, let's not forget that they've already surprised us. FaZe came into this one as your 3rd, 4th, we're not sure. Top of the group already, showing just how little time necessary to see a successful roster come into fruition. Even Kyoshima has been firing on all full cylinders so far. I just said it, Kyoshima, and they're taking the mickey out of me. So let's show who is laughing at me. It's none other than a giggly Pansy and Moses to enjoy this one.
Thank you. And yeah, Kyoshima. Very, very to the point there. Love that, Alex. And, well, you know what? They were discussing FaZe and their approach so far on Nuke. since Karrigan's joined, they're actually 2-0 up on it. They've not lost that one yet, and the last 3 times we've seen SK on this, they're 0-3. So take from that what you will. Of course, stats can only go so far, but this is going to be interesting now with SK here.
I mean, the big thing you take away from it is SK, we know they've had a really tough time with this map pool recently, and I mean, that ban of Barrage against FaZe, it's one of FaZe's better maps, so that's a respect ban from SK on a map that used to be one of their favorites. So that's kind of the interesting takeaway from the veto process that I have.
Oh, I tend to join you on that one. We'll see if that actually, maybe haunts them down the line. But for now, for SK, it's got to start here. Of course, the T side notoriously difficult, but with a plan in mind, clearly smokes and molotovs are plenty. They could be building something into this one.
Yeah, I mean, the CT side is going to come down to a lot of economy. And look at this information Rain is getting. He's pushing all the way up. Now, he is spotted, so, I mean, that's smart awareness by Fallen to keep track of that, to keep track of the flank. So now they just have to decide where to go. They do have a decent amount of utility. Fallen and Cold both have smokes. They've got a Molotov as well, probably for top hut. And they've got a couple flashbangs as well. So this is looking like, just from that utility, that it is going to be some kind of an execute on the upper bomb site. Yeah,
coldzera earlier just breaking out those skylights, instantly doing it. Probably going to keep that up throughout the entire game, so FaZe can always be left guessing whether it's going to be that upper hit or if it's going to be something else. But for now, it's I guess, a safer read to go for this. And Fur getting himself ready, and the smokes have already gone out. And there's still a flashbang, 2 flashbangs on those mollies to follow if required. So we'll have to wait and see if they actually commit them. There's the first, and there's still one more from Fallen. First hasn't actually displayed anything. They've hit the brakes here. And here we go. Now it's go time. The second flash comes in. Fallen sets it up first. Already down vents. This looks like it almost looked like a vent dive, but it's not. It's a bit of a split here. You've got Taco and Fur going for something here. Excuse me, FNX even. And Fallen's been found. This seems, this is kind of crazy. Okay, they've gone through the upper catwalk, the new catwalk towards the outside area. But just, it's Aloe. Just beautiful work. 2 kills just denies that instantly. Now coldzera's left with 3 players daring him, let alone where the 4th may be. And there you go. This is surely going to be wrapped up with a nice little bow here, but a bit of a mess to be made on the upper site. But AZ closes it down in the end. And let's break that one down, because SK clearly had this really quite intricate plan in mind, but then Aloe just wrecked it.
It looked like they wanted to sell the idea that it was going to be that drop-down vents towards the lower bomb site, but Fur gets picked off immediately. I mean, he had his back turned and was not expecting someone to be down there so quickly. And even, I think it was Taco who was staying back at the door, and his entire goal was to punish whoever tries to flank down those vents. And then they had players, coming from catwalk. So they really wanted to find an easy pathway due to the rotations, but since Fur falls and there's no real distraction, no one from FaZe has to really commit to any kind of a massive rotate.
And already any sort of money going towards the CT side this early on is never going to be fun for them, on the T side at least. So already that molly going to be put down towards the door, deny any quick early aggression, maybe that Tech 9 rush towards upper, anything that maybe SK could have been thinking of has been denied. Now they only have 1 smoke here, that's still with Fallen, so he'll be creating something, possibly going for a bit of a, I guess, a brawl there with Rain. Maybe not a great idea at this point. Aloe's now joined down below. The picture's kind of been seen now. SK's game plan has been noted, but so far FaZe not falling into this, not giving too many opportunities over towards SK.
Yeah, I mean, hoping these Deagles are going to land a shot, and it's not going to happen. Now, Fur, his turn, he does find AZ, but his teammates are kind of dropping, and Taco, he's going to find a one-on-one over towards Ramp Room, which he's not able to win. Karrigan holds strong there, and that pretty much takes the teeth out of this, although Fur's still doing some long-range work with that Tech 9.
Aloe doesn't even get the drop on it from kind of the locker room either. So they're doing work, and it's going to set up coldzera a little bit here if he can find a bit of play towards that, and he is. Gets the shot down as well. A little questionable from Aloe to overextend for that. Maybe didn't need to, but he does in the end, and he gets punished for it. So now 2v2. Gets a little interesting here, facing curious spots, so not particularly your standard as such, but first still on the prowl. He can't find it, though. He's done enough work already. 2 kills for him is pretty big, but it's coldzera now in the 1v2. He does have the bomb at least, so maybe he could get something out of this. Yeah, and unlike Aloe's overextension outside, you could see Karrigan and Keo just falling back in towards lobby. They're going to play it extremely safe. Cold, the plant would be great. Dropping down vent, maybe taking his time to see if anyone's going to follow up quickly. But they're going to hear this coming, and they've got to be a little bit cautious. You don't want to turn this into a one-on-one. Karrigan with a low HP perhaps lead the way so Keo can bait it out. But this could actually get tricky. Cold has a chance here. And I like him sticking around for the first, and hopefully he can back away from this. But there's a time limit on what he can do here. Hoping they come through the vents is not going to be the case. They're going to come from the doorway, and there you go. First exchange, expects the other. There you go. coldzera finds the one that was waiting for the second's a sick shot. Keo, you can't fight against that. coldzera's aim is crisp in that situation. The bomb plant to define it, but that's got to be a bit of a reminder for FaZe. And that's the one mistake. You do have to say, Aloe just pushing outside. You don't need to do that. Let them have that kind of map control. Protect the bomb sites, and once he falls, it gives a little bit more of an opportunity for them to work. I mean, there's no support here, and he's not even really sure where the second player is, so he's just trying to take that one-on-one, but this is just, I mean, Cold using that silo in that bomb site so well to isolate the one-on-ones. It looks like a bit of a rush towards upper as well. You've got the weaponry, I guess, at this point. It's a little dangerous because they know there could be an investment back from FaZe, but so far, altogether, just bullishly making their way through this. There's no holding back here. Bombs down. Everything's under wraps. No one's been picked up. A little bit of damage dealt, but that's no problem. Karen's going to find Fallen, but by this point, the 2 players remaining have no step towards this site.
Yeah, and I mean, there is investment here from FaZe. They're not doing the damage they'd like to. That's a good find from Alu, but not going to be able to salvage too much. The danger is now you have this AK, or you have this UMP, you have a Deagle. You almost want them to see them just bring that forward into the next round. There's a kit as well on Rain. So there's some chances here, and that's a good kill from Alu, but he is going to die right at the end. But still, they've gotten 3 kills. It's only SMGs they've taken down, but it's not bad because actually, I mean, losing the second round and now losing this round with that investment, FaZe's economy is going to be in a tough spot moving forward.
Yeah, it actually is. Now, Rain's going to keep hold of this as much as he can. This map is actually pretty tough to save on, to be fair, considering how vertical it gets. But at the end of the day, Rain will be safe and sound. Cold not quite close enough to take much away from him because at the end of the day, you're not going to have much more coming into this round, so you might as well keep it to hand. But as you highlighted, decent damage. It's not going to particularly hurt SK too much, but it's more that FaZe maybe can get a little bit more out of it once they come down to it. But we'll see how much money they can make off this one.
It'll be interesting seeing the utility they're going to have in the next round because this is where you can really get punished on the CT side is if you can't win that first gun round, if you can't stabilize the economy, because you need that utility. I mean, if you don't have the Molotovs, if you don't have the smokes, it opens up so many options for the terrorist side. That's when they start to feel restricted, when every choke point is blocked off for a good 45 seconds to a minute into the round. And if FaZe isn't going to have that, then SK can jump out to a big lead early on as the losing bonus builds up.
Yeah, we've seen so many games going that sort of way. It is such a big factor, just that instant stopping power that comes with a molly, a nade or 2. And here we go. Let's see if SK can keep this one relatively clean. They've got 2 of those AKs on their side, so they don't want to be losing those too early on in any way, shape or form. Bit of a line of smoke there in Rain. Up top, going to be getting a bit of action. That's 2 for him. Fallen and Furfall. But how on earth is he able to find that? A bit of an unorthodox peak there, just catching them out. And now the 3 players remaining are going to be in a bit of a predicament here.
The jump up on that post was huge because Fur, I mean, you could see spamming through it. He spots him through the smoke, but doesn't see the jump up. So Fallen had to have been a little bit confused, and now Fur's probably scratching his head as well. Low HP outside, though, so a chance if they peek, but actually FaZe is playing this extremely disciplined. AZ is going to be the one taking contact. He's over towards Mini. No one else is going to peek until he sees someone.
Okay, so they've at least been able to recover the bomb for SK. That's a big tick on their checklist of things to try and achieve this round, and they are down to the bigger firepower here at least as well.
Yeah, and Taco's taking control of ramp room, so this is why you see the bomb rotating back. coldzera covering that kind of retreat, so they know they have a passageway towards that lower bomb site. That's where they're going to aim to go, but the rotations are going to be here pretty quick. But like we said, 2 very low HP players on the FaZe side.
You know, FaZe can land those dangerously ridiculous shots, so I wouldn't put it past him for now, but at the moment it still is SK looking for their chances, and coldzera finding one with the Mac Daddy is not going to be too painful either, but there's AZ finding FNX, and now it gets a little bit interesting. coldzera can't overextend now. He has to be pretty attentive, and there you go, bomb doesn't even get planted. Now there's a bigger problem on hand. They are getting the frags at least, but 6 seconds remain, and there's still 2 players standing, and it's down to Alu again. Can he do anything? Sure, no, time's up, and oh my word, FaZe just pulling them left, right, and center so often. That deny on the bomb plant in the end costing them everything, but this at the start, oh my word, just...
Why not?
That first shot on Fallen as well, that has got to hurt. The follow-up as well, just brilliant stuff from Rain. I don't think he even saw him particularly, but just...
Even managing that lower hit, I mean, FaZe just whittled down the manpower of SK when it's a 3-on-5 like that. You could see one player, I think that was Cole, trying to watch the flank, but once his teammate falls at the bomb site, they can't have attention on the flank like that. He can't chase down the kill. The timer's running out. He's got to get into the site and try and help his teammate, and they just couldn't recover. That's a bit tough for SK. They lose that one. Up in Alu's hands now. So SK, they've got 3 AKs. They've got the Galil. And they have a lot of bodies towards this inner site. Fur's outside again, and it looks like it's going to be some kind of timing play of when he wants to execute. Grenade to blow open the window, and here comes the execution.
Yeah, quick volley to the old vent, but AZ's still standing. He's got a little bit of attention coming in from Fur, but that's been swept aside. Good flash as well. Denies coldzera the peak, now isolates Fallen a little, but Alu's there to recover it as well. This is big. AZ staying alive this long is huge. Now Taco's the last man standing, and this is a huge shutdown here. FaZe just dealing with everything that was thrown at them, and Taco can't stand it. Nothing to be done there. Those flashes were sublime. The timing, and AZ as well. What a position.
Yeah, AZ is a god. I mean, that was so patient on top of Hut like that, not over-peaking, getting blinded all throughout it, and really SK could do nothing to clear him out of that spot. Players were getting into the site, but no one seemed to be checking that top Hut. I don't know if that's a miscommunication, no one passing it along properly, but it just seemed like no one wanted to be the aggressor towards that top Hut position, so AZ's given free reign. That's a big 4-kill. Now back onto the pistols for SK. There are the Deagles, there are some Tech 9 on board, but no utility, no armor to speak of.
This is getting a little bit painful for SK, but we'll see how well they can recover here. This should be the stabilization time almost for FaZe, though, after that rocky start that they had. A little bit, you know, interesting for them as well. So hopefully for FaZe, in their minds, they want to keep this one as clean as possible, get that money building up so they can always keep that utility as high as they need to. And AZ's going to have a great time here. Good positioning. He doesn't even need to be... He can play pretty safely here. He's got support left, right, and center. Rain's at the back there, and he had, I think it was Alu as well watching, so perfectly safe.
Yeah, I mean, not trying to peek out, not trying to chase those kills, knowing he has Alu watching the angle to bail him out if a lot of bodies come at him, but AZ's put together a couple nice rounds here. 3 kills for him here. And it's just down to Taco. So this is where you can start to see that this T side can get suffocating. That's a very, very nice shot from Taco. But this is now moving forward. FaZe is going to have all the money. They're going to have all the utility they need, and that's going to be dangerous for the SK side.
Yeah, I'm not sure what SK can really bring here. I'm not too kind of confident in their T side at the moment. It seems incredibly well-rounded. It does seem as though they've got a great idea as to do it, but if you're not clearing out players like AZ from a position they was in, maybe not having those mollies is hindering them. You can molly out that sort of thing. Maybe that being a factor. Now they've got plenty. So if you're going to see, you know, a deny on that sort of spot, this is where it happens very, very comfortably. But the money's starting to get nicely spread out now for FaZe as well. Going to start building bank if they actually get this one under wraps. But we'll see if that actually happens. As now SK have a perfectly good shot and now trying to crack back into this game.
A little bit light on flashbangs. That's the one big thing, because we've seen the effect of them when you stream them in through the skylights, stream them in through the door, behind the vent, as we saw SK throw in their last upper execute. A decent impact. It buys them those 2 to 3 seconds they need to get into position, but they've only got a couple of them here. Don't have a whole lot for that, so they are going to head towards outside, and they've kind of seen the setup out here. I mean, they know Alu has opted outside a couple times. They know there's usually an M4 over in Warehouse or over in Mini. That wall of smokes is going to let them move up, and even the Molotov, it falls a little bit short, so it's not going to deny a stairs peek, but...
Oh, is he going to do it again? Rain. He's going to the post again. This is absolutely sick. Rain could have done so much there, but the information is enough, I guess, at this point. Trades out evenly. Fallen will find him this time. Not going to be taken down by that one shot to the dome like before. But now the game plan's been spotted, and FaZe were very light towards that outside area, playing almost 4 others towards the inner side. So we'll see if Karrigan and AZ, this crossfire is going to be pretty harsh to break through. But they got to know what they're coming up against. AZ playing from the vents, Karrigan sitting by control. I'm just going to see this pretty much the feet before they can even reply. So quick little flash, catches 2. This is nice from Karrigan. He's going to be buying time aplenty, and now bomb goes down. Fallen just feeds himself into the machine, and Karrigan even found coldzera then as well. And this is pretty much all done and dusted here, down to Fur in a 1v3, and everything's been seen.
Karrigan, that's such a nice defense, because it looked like actually AZ was going to just bide his time and flank from the vents. And Karrigan just does all the work. He doesn't need any help from AZ whatsoever. So just a measured retreat from Karrigan, finding new angles, new spots to come to. That first jump down from Taco, it seemed like that might have been, like, he's thinking someone's going to come at least trade that kill, but it doesn't happen at all. So FaZe, this defense looking strong early on here. And who knew Karrigan could do this? It's been a hot minute since we've seen this out of him.
And what a satisfying moment for him as well. Have his moment against, or I guess with his own team of incredible superstars. You're around guys who are known for this sort of, I guess, heavy aim. You know, they're the guys that pull off those clips. For him, that must be a nice bit of confidence for him. Get back into this, even if he's in-game leading. He's certainly pulling his weight here, and a lovely bit of play from him. Now SK, they've got to have some questions now coming back into this one, because that was a nice buy from them. They had the mollies, and it seemed to go nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, they were pretty much invested in taking outside control with that wall of smokes and getting down lower. They just didn't count for Karrigan. Obviously, Rain, that peak on the top of the pole, again, it does some damage, but more than anything, it gives him the information. He's like, oh, okay, there's like 3 to 4 people out here. So, I mean, they know where to rotate. That's where you can see that crossfire getting set up in time. Karrigan's able to get into position. So, really, really nice information gathering and just a very good on the rotations on this defense.
Yeah, and if you look, I guess, in the previous games that have gone very well for FaZe, it's actually been Rain who's been having the big games. This time it seems that everyone's able to step up, which is the danger of FaZe. It was always the question of if they get X amount of players playing well, these guys become incredibly hard to deal with. And so far, you've got AZ operating pretty well for himself. Alu's had a couple of issues here and there, but he's been supporting very nicely towards the outside. Everything's going okay for them, at least at this point.
The big thing is you're starting to know who the consistent stars are going to be on this team. That was the big knock beforehand, is you never knew which one of them was going to be put in position to be the star player, who was going to have the good game. Now you look at this lineup and you're like, all right, Rain and AZ, those are the 2-star riflers. They've got Alu, who's in the past has been a very, very strong AWPer, so they have the pieces to the puzzle. And now you can see they're starting to come together, they're starting to look very, very scary.
Yeah, Karrigan, the Puppet Master, just coming into it. But AZ's going to feed right into Fur. Just going to sit there, accept fate. But Rain and Alu are still pretty much close by, so they're not lost too much just yet. A little bit of a jump through the window there. coldzera going to try and nip down towards the fence, and he's achieved it. And there is actually one man just behind them in towards Tin. Karrigan keeping aware, but coldzera's got a plant for himself, at least out of this one.
Yeah, that could be all he gets. He could snap over and find that kill. Not going to happen. Only one player lost, and that's really not a huge issue, because this losing bonus is built up enough to where SK is going to be buying in the next round no matter what. So FaZe is more than happy to keep an extra player alive and just let that plant happen. So no big deal for them. Up 6-2. The money is good. Alu's over 10K. That's phenomenal for your AWPer on this map. And this is the response now. This is the first time we've really seen Fallen bust out his own AWP. So now he's got a chance to kind of challenge against Alu and can use that as a tool to kind of move up outside.
Yeah, I'm going to be seeing what Fallen can bring here. Again, something that's brought up by the analysis area, not desk, remember, is that he doesn't always have the ability to go for those big games because he has a lot of responsibilities outside of that, but they need someone now to start providing a little bit of something. And Alu with a huge deny, finally actually actively playing the outside area as well, being, I guess, kind of passive a little bit, but Taco's found a breakthrough of his own. Straight down towards ramp, and I'm not sure if anyone's there to counter it just yet. There it is. AZ straight away. Quick to get down there and to play any supporting role. And now Rain's considering, would that maybe encourage SK to play for this now? And he already came over, but actually backed away from it.
I think Taco's going to be so confused as to where AZ comes from, because that's a very quick rotation to be down there. I mean, he finds his 1-on-1 at B, and then it's just like, what path did AZ take to be in this position?
Yeah, he's been playing upper the whole time, and now suddenly, there he is.
Yeah, I mean, it might be a situation where he was dropping down vents to rotate towards Secret just a little bit early, and then was able to just change his route. Either way, Taco, I mean, that's a good 1-on-1 win over towards ramp. That's going to be very nice if Taco can find that kill. That'll help SK later on if they want to find adjustments or some different options. He's becoming a very, very good solo player. There's a lot for them on Overpass as well, of being able to pick and choose his battles and open up on the other side of the map.
AZ's position could be massive here. It depends if they check far enough. He's going to get at least the spot now. That kind of raises the alarm bell. I don't know if they actually saw the bomb as such, but it's enough at this point. 40 seconds left. Bomb's going down. Rain's going to hear it right by the door, but FNX is there as well, and Rain just shuts it in his face. FNX goes down, but another bomb plant for coldzera, but by this point they need a round on the board. Tries to take the fight, but Rain is just there and denies it. Big stuff again from FaZe, and I like a little switch up here and there from them as well. AZ being in that spot very quickly was something that I wanted to see how he got there that fast. Alu playing more attentively towards the outside area. First time we've seen him actually go for a fight like that. Maybe something they're just considering. There'll be an AWP there. He feels confident to take the fight. First time they've had the purchase to go for it really in quite some time, and wow. Alu just nailing it.
I mean, taking that peek as Fallen, there's so many places your opposing CT Opera can be, so that's tough. I mean, you could see on the replay that flashbang comes out in a little bit of a delayed reaction, but Fallen, he has to check like three or four different corners of where the Opera might be, so Alu kind of out in the open might have caught him off guard a little bit, but SK, they're getting stumped here, and the rotations from FaZe are clean. They're very, very convincing, very aggressive and fast-paced. So a lot of questions of how SK can come back from this, and it looks like ramp is going to be that answer for them. Kerrigan's boosted up. Yeah, this is going to be sick.
I don't know if you're going to check that straight away. You normally get at least one. He's going to hold off for a little bit. Alu's going to chime in for himself. Follows up with a second. coldzera gets absolutely destroyed, and there you go. There's that smooth style that Alu can bring. Doesn't even need to snap to it. FNX will go down, and SK tries to adapt, tries to change, tries to maybe do something different. It worked before with that opener. Now provide a little bit more meat to it, but Alu just has none. The butcher awaits.
And this is what's stressful if you're SK, and this is what Fallen's got to figure out, and what all in-game leaders struggle with. When you have an Opera like this with Alu, or any Opera really, and they're having this kind of an impact in a game, and they're mobile. Like last round, he picks Fallen outside, and this round they change the setup. They boost Kerrigan up, and then he stays to set up a crossfire. Yep. How do you counter that? Because you don't know where the Op is going to be. Obviously, they said, okay, so Taco found success winning that 1-on-1 a round or two ago. Let's go back there. Yeah, let's see if we can exploit that again, and then Alu surprises you with his presence. So, I mean, the question just becomes, what do you do?
It's a great question. Hopefully someone like Fallen does have answers to this. You can imagine he should do. He's not exactly new around this sort of thing. But again, for me, it just feels like FaZe are still a step ahead. They've been able to kind of determine and lead the pace thus far. They've been making the adjustments and the changes, reading the game plan that SK are bringing. So if you're SK, where are those options going to lay now?
Well, and they have a massive amount of advantages in this as well. But the big thing, this goes back to what Daze was saying, is SK, this pick of Nuke. It's, you know, we saw back in Cologne, they beat Virtus Pro on it, so it was a very good pick for them then. They've struggled on it since. So this is something where they say, okay, maybe FaZe is going to be weak on it. And it's not looking that way. And now Rain, I mean, he's taking the opportunity, and Cold is going to be so tilted. That is just cruel for Rain to pile it on like that.
And he's been able to get away completely unanswered. That is just assassin-like almost. Just sneaks his way out there. Beautiful pickup. Loses nothing. Loses no control either. Huge advantage.
And even Cold Smoke just falls on his dead body afterwards.
Even better. He just sat there dead, just looking at his teammate's screen. It's like, nice. That's gone exactly how I wanted it to. I don't know what to say if you're SK now. Again, these could have been options that are coming up. And now FNX has to utilize his smoke to go to the same place and has to redo everything here if they want to go towards the same hit. Bear in mind, Rain's still out there somewhere. Somewhere lurking away. Could be at T-Red for all that, you know, down secret stairs playing out. I mean, it doesn't matter. He has everything. And he loves just putting himself up towards this. Will he go for it again? He's got a lovely little angle above towards Silo if they do try and make a play.
Surely not.
He's going to do it. Like, because look at this. It's the perfect angle above the smoke. And he's going to spot, I can imagine, maybe one by T-Red. But if he calls out saying, okay, no one's gone towards upper, care for just secret stairs. That's the only place they can go at the moment, at least towards the smokes they've used. But Rain How smart are you, Rain? Are you going to just wait it out
This
here?
is so gutsy. Like,
This
what if
is-
someone stayed back? I mean, smart by FNX to watch for that push. That's very popular for CT team, especially
But
there.
look at this response from FaZe. They're instantly aware and back in these same sort of spots. And I get the jump down there from Fer, but you want to be able to trade it for good damage to fall towards Fallen as well. Big, what? Alu just smashes down Taco. It's like you do not get easy access this time at all. And there he is again, finding FNX. This is a disaster if you're SK. You had a couple of opportunities there, but individually, FaZe are on point.
Yeah, this is so sick. I mean, Rain, once again, it's the information of that play. And if you're playing matchmaking this weekend, this coming week, I would just spam the top of that pillar every single time you go outside.
That's it.
Just start doing that. But I mean, this is the psychological warfare right here that's coming into play. This is Rain just really pissing people off. So well done from him, getting away, getting all the information as well, and also not overextending in that situation. Because when you're that player and you hear so many people run by you, you're thinking in your head, I can get a flank and I'll catch him off guard with how fast this comes in. This can be a massive play. This could be the miracle. This could be a highlight.
Is he doing?
He's very patient with it.
I was wondering if Rain was going to go for a slow walk up again, do something. Because he's the one controlling everything outside now. They have to be respectful of what almost he's been doing there. They can't just ignore the fact that someone can push. Don't you dare do it. It's just Shadow Fiend over here. Look at him playing on the edge of that smoke, waiting, desperate for someone to walk through. And if they go towards the right, you've got the post to jump up on. If they go towards the left, he is facing it. And no one is facing this way. That could have been, again, so much worse. But
It's
he
cold
sees so
again.
much. Yeah, Cold is just getting absolutely ruined. That must be incredibly frustrating. And that's adding insult to injury. Again, SK can't get anywhere here for free.
Yeah, I mean, all they've really had to fall back on, we were wondering what the answer was going to be. They're just setting up this smoke wall and hoping for the best, and that's not happening, not even close to it. All the rotations are in as well. As we've seen this whole half, Kerrigan's down here, ready to go, ready to help his teammates out. Molotov for the windows. AZ's in the vents. He hasn't been cleared out. I mean, there's no avenues into this site for SK. You could see, look how desperate they are. And they know that everyone's here, and they're trying to find something. AZ's presence is now known. Oh, that's a nice shot from Fallen. That might open things up, and Fur is able to climb back on it, so good entry from Fallen. But they can't lose this.
Surely not. They need this one. And Kyo's been pretty absent so far. The rest of his team's been shining a little brighter than him. He hasn't needed to really step up just yet, but now he provides a lot. Finding 2 kills, the one important one just a second ago. Leaving it now down to Taco in this 1v2. Aloe still stands with the molly, with a flash. They've both got kits. Kyo's a little low, but Taco is stuck. He needs to take a fight and just hope it's the right one, and he can't get it. There's Aloe on the other side, not gonna miss. And again, even this time, considering Carrigan and AZ and such weren't in that prime position down by control room, they still found so much dominance down there in the end.
Aloe's being so effective with his AWP, and yeah, Cold is just going to, he is having a really bad time. I mean, nice trade from Fallen, good entry coming into the site as well. That's a sick shot.
That's nuts.
I mean, just to even get his team into this, because from there you could see it was AZ's turn saying, okay, they're out, Kerrigan had contact, now it's my turn to try and take a fight, and Fur drops him, but still, they just can't hold on to the site. And yeah, this is a very tough half. SK have no answer for this.
No, and if I maybe thought they were a bit of a specialist on Nuke, I could say, well, you know, CT side's coming up, maybe it's not over just yet, but 2 rounds is still very thin on the ground, even for Nuke, especially at this level when FaZe looks very ready, very prepared. Considering we were theorizing, I know the analysis area certainly was just, how ready are FaZe here? And again, you can see Aloe switching things up here.
Yeah, I was going to say, but Rain is also pushed up, and he's going to grab 2 kills, so he's still a minute. He's pushed all the way up outside. 2 kills. The op shot might have baited them forward, saying, okay, if it's a different defense we're facing, and now look at just Kerrigan. This is even more cool. I mean, it's so smart, a cerebral play, because he knows, they've gotten 2 kills outside. There was a return kill, so there's only 2 players left to watch for any kind of a push like this. He's going to have a fast flank if they go upper. He's going to be at an off angle if they try and go ramp room. This is going to be very difficult to deal with.
We'll see how well they can control this one. Taco's stuck almost. He's in a really tough spot, and there it is. Kerrigan's position, that very cerebral, very smart play from him, that positioning was perfect. And AZ's found Cold Zero. Sadly for Taco, he was waiting for some sort of play, some sort of support, something to set him up. But now it's all on him. A 1v4, he's got room to work with, but this is very, very difficult. One peek in the wrong place, just a second of timing not in his favor, and he's done for. Alu just jump peeking it. Gonna spot it out. Taco finds him. That's, I guess, a step in the right direction, but there's going to be a lot more steps here on what might be a mountain, but there's a leap. Taco just completely eviscerates Kyo, and now it's in a 1v2. A little more possible, but look at the time, 25 seconds. A smoke and a flash is all he has, but he needs one more kill here.
He's going to go up vents, isn't he? That's going to be the scary thing. He just has to go for it. So no, he's actually going to come out towards...
Is he?
Oh, no, he's not. He's baiting it out.
This
so
is
smart.
sick.
He's got 4 kills. He has to go for the ace here. He's got to get all 5.
Did he spot him?
I don't know if he spotted him, but either way, he's making the right read. He knows he has the smoke down lower, so Taku's showing off all the skills right now in a one-on-one with Kerrigan.
This could be huge. This is what you need, but it's still Carrigan. This man is certainly aware of what could be coming his way, so every single position he checks, every angle contains a threat. But would you predict Taco to take a fight here? Confidence aplenty, and we'll see if it pays off, and he gets it! That's a sick ace from Taco. That is not what you see every day. And to be fair to FaZe, they didn't even make that many mistakes. Taco was on point.
Yeah, I mean, the one tap up towards heaven, that's dirty, but just that in that 1 or 2, the outplay, the smoke down lower, the broken vent, baits one player down into vents, easy kill for him, and then wins the one-on-one as well. I mean, when you're stuck like this in this kind of a situation for so long in this half, that's where you say, all right, our star player's got to make a play, and you expect it to be Fallen, you expect it to be cold. Taco with the big-time play there, obviously.
That was absolutely beautiful to watch. Watch that one back again and again and again, because that was something to really enjoy. But FaZe going to switch it up. Going to go for a little bit of aggressive play, and it pays off. Alu there to find Taco of all people, and of course, there it is. Again, a 5v4. Rain pops himself up on his perch, loves a bit of it. Peeks out, spots out Fallen, and I think, again, the plan becomes slightly unraveled.
I mean, that's a nice jump for information. Just Rain is playing so well outside. SK, with this heavy emphasis towards the outer yard, Rain is just doing so many different things to beat them. Alu's brought down very low, and Fur's being so cautious. As soon as the smoke fades as well, AZ can get into the fight, so they re-smoke it. That's nice timing.
And that's a nice angle. He was watching that upper catwalk to see if anyone was pushing Alu. Something that we've seen SK Gaming do before, when in their pistol round, for example. He can't watch it much longer, and that's why Alu falls. But Rain's still in a position. He can still cause so much trouble, but FaZe, or should I say Rain, that is almost perfect from him. coldzera get down to 21 HP here. It's a 3v2. It's still possible for SK. They're in some decent spots considering where Fur is, but no armor, but he still lands it. Okay, he's got the AWP now as well, so this gets a little more interesting, but where is that bomb? Well, should I just say under wraps from FaZe at this point. Locked it down.
The issue is, again, Rain outside. It's the 2 kills are huge, obviously, but buying so much time for that double push through Secret for the FaZe side of things. Once that comes into play, you could just see it. That there's no way SK expects that. And this is just sick from FaZe. They're taking so much initiative on the CT side. It's not just sit back and wait and see. They're going and taking these kills, and now SK, they get reset. I mean, it's the last round of the half, so they have to buy no matter what. But what can they even bring into this fight? They have pistols. They have a UMP on FNX.
I'm lost for an answer, and I can imagine SKR as well. Just going to go for a quick hit towards upper, and burn, baby, burn. The mollies come in. Rain not going to douse that one at all. And still, SK looking for options, desperate for anything here, because FaZe have had it all. And Rain not even tested yet, still keeping control. AZ in the spot again that's been paying off, and then some. One player does slip through, though, but there's still support around the place here. FNX and First still stand, but burning alive, and there it is. A complete slaughterhouse in the end. And it will end up at 12-3 on the half. And I've got to say, that was an absolute clinic of how to play Nuke here.
Yeah, absolutely was. A brilliant CT side out of them. SK really only had success in the second and third round, and it was all FaZe and Rain from there.
Let's see how well this goes on the second half now for SK. 12-3 on the half, and it's not to SK. FaZe absolutely turning up here and giving us a clinic as to how to play that CT side. Beautiful work.
Yeah, where's this FaZe team come from? This is dirty. You put an in-game leader on this team. We've been asking for it for a year. Now they got one. This is pretty sick. Yeah, this isn't too shabby. And if they can establish Nuke as a map that they're going to be dominant on, that's going to be something that they can use in their pool. That makes them even more dangerous because got a couple other maps they're looking very, very strong on as well. And they're on their way to just bulldoze their way through this group.
Well, let's see if they can close out in style here, or at least keep it nice and clean for themselves. A beautiful display thus far, but the T side is always a bit of a tough task to get under your belt in any sort of clean fashion. And for SK, it's do or die time for them. 3 rounds is not much to work with. It's possible it is still Nuke to a degree, but no errors is the big thing that's going to be coming up here. And let's see what they bring on that T side here now, FaZe.
FNX just blows out the vent, so looking like there might be a small fake towards the upper bomb site. It looks like the bomb, though, they're going to go towards ramp room no matter what, and that's a good find from Taco. Holding it down, 1 kill for him. That seemed to be a fake, though. A little bit of pressure applied. It didn't pull any rotations away because Taco stops it, so now they've got to deal with a lot. Fur on top of the hut. He's going to get 1, but he's traded immediately. Keo had a quiet first half, but he's coming up big here, but falling in cold, stopped things short, and even Taco getting a second, so SK, they keep themselves alive. That is a crucial pistol round.
Yeah, if there was a pressure moment, that's certainly going to be one. Yeah. So for them, first step in a really nice direction. They need to be, very, very robust, though. They can't deal with being reset here. This is a big round for them. I'm
glad we saw that pistol round before I spoke, because I was going to say that FaZe, we saw the T side from SK being a little bit more cerebral and like strat and tactical. I expected FaZe to just come out and just put an emphasis on trading and not try and do anything finesse. And they almost throw like a little bit of a double fake, it seemed like, with smoke towards upper and then a ramp pressure. And they just lost too many players before they could really get into that site.
How is Rain here? How's he got that far? That was a little dangerous, but it's kept in check at the end of the day. And there you go. Nice shutdown from FNX. Takes down 3. That's a big lockout. And now the threat seems to have been removed. Almost quelled by this point. You're down to Karrigan, and no discredit to him. A 1v5 is pretty tough at the moment, especially when you get dinked almost there. And there you go. coldzera just dancing on the edge of that peak, and Fur will find it with the P90. And this, again, is good for SK. Clean rounds. SMG's picking up the kills. You need everything going your way here.
Yeah, I know. Not to harp on this too much, but I would have liked to see FaZe with this big of a lead just saving that second round. Go into the 4th round, have your AK-47s, have all the nades that you need, because this next one, it is the T side, so it's going to be a little bit easier to manage if they get a plant that's going to help out. But why even put yourself in a weird money situation in that first gun round? It can be so important. You only need 4 rounds to win.
No, absolutely. It could be a point down the line where they sit back and go, yeah, we probably should have kept that in mind. A bit of an awkward one, but for them at the moment, they still have rounds to play with.
They're also going to have to deal. We saw Fur with his P90 just basically push up through ramp room or push up through hut and just flank on top of silo. SK is going to make a lot of these plays to start this second half. Until they can inch this closer together, they're going to take some of those bigger risks, those bigger gambles, and FaZe is going to have to be very aware of that.
SK with it all to do still, and FaZe just maybe talking things out as well. They've got time to kind of work their way into this one. No real rush at this point. They have nothing to play with in this round, barring a P250. So really, it's if they can find someone, if someone gets caught out, that'd be, pretty impressive to actually pull off. But it's highly unlikely. So Taco just be spraying away, looking for any sort of connection, even if it be through the wall. It doesn't really matter, and they're retaining their utility too, so they shouldn't be caught out here. And it looks like you'll just run at ramp and hope for the best. And they're going to force Taco off the angle. That's not bad. He can fall back, puts the molly down, buys a bit of time, adjusts the aim well, and claims Karrigan. There's the follow-up 3. Gorgeous stuff from Taco. Yes, they don't have armor, but this man, good stopping power for him, and not bad to get him confident, but loses out to a Glock in the end.
Oh, that's a bummer. That would have been the ace.
Taco. Did they recover the M4? Nice. No, they didn't either.
All right, well, good hold from Taco, holding it down just all on himself and at that B bomb site, which we saw him attacking in the first half, so obviously a very intimate knowledge of that ramp room. And now comes the big test, and this is what I'm talking about in terms of economy. Look at Keo, only a smoke. They're very, very low on flashes, only 3 of them across 3 different players. No AWP on Alu. So, some hit in terms of their utility from the economic side of things, and they're going up against an AWP on Fallen. Fur and Cold with these SMGs are going to get aggressive. They're going to have a lot of mobility to them. So some danger here, and again, this is some of those risks that we're going to see SK taking. Look at this angle from Taco. That's very, very nice.
To be fair, this is something that SK has done previously, only from ramp room that I'd kind of note. He does like to push up here. He likes to get a little bit of control towards radio, possibly, and then back away from it. Why not do it? It worked out well, as you saw before, but it's something that maybe they're going to start predicting soon. But Taco already going to fall back towards the ramp. Has to play this well. Can't outsay his welcome. He tries it, though. There it is. A good pick up towards Rain, and instantly Fallen is there. We saw Alu being perfect at this, but no, Keo bangs out a shot, considering how he got treated before by Taco. That's a shot he wanted back as well. So now down to the 4v4. You've already got Taco down in a good position. He fell back earlier here, but FaZe still has a lot of room to play with.
Yeah, but he's out in the open. Taco has to win these fights. Is FaZe actually going to clear this out? I don't know. Oh, there's Kerrigan, the drop down. Taco can do nothing, and we don't see very many good rotations. AZ's occupying F and X. He can't get in there to support. At SK, they're out of this round. They have a P90, they have a UMP. But, I mean, first so far away. So while we saw that FaZe with the crisp rotations on the CT side, SK here to start out in this first gun round is not the same.
No, and I almost feel for Fallen in that situation. He could have changed so much there. Even just getting 1, 2 maybe would have been huge. Even just anything.
I thought he was actually going to go for that peak. He was actually pretty safe in how he took that angle. I thought he was actually going to go for more, but the communication that Taco is just following, he probably made out the call, just abandon ramp room, let him have it. So the safe off angle is taken, and Keo just proves that it actually is not that safe.
They're going to try and make some sort of great escape here. I'm going to take a little bit of, I guess, some bodies on the way. AZ's going to fall, but there is a man, if I'm not mistaken, above him, and it is Alu on the perch. But again, you don't want to lose too much here for himself. 16 HP as that bomb does explode, and it will mean the coldzera does at least get to keep the AK, and actually that will drop out Fallen towards the AWP here. So that's quite important to see, and actually FaZe's money still not good for themselves here. Perfectly fine for a buy, but still, nothing really to fall back on, barring the fact they have 13 rounds. So they've got a fair bit still.
Well, I mean, yeah, SK just can't lose this one. Then they're out of money. Then they're really in trouble. So the last round was cool because they actually, FaZe actually got AZ down in those stairs, and instead of like the group effort that SK put into taking lower, he was just there as a lurker, there to cut off those rotations down vent, there to be a nuisance, and he's kind of like in a swing position. Once he gets to those stairs, he can come up and go outside towards Mini. He can go all the way down secret to the lower bomb site and help him out. So a couple different options when he gets in that position, especially because the main attack was not outside.
And Rain, they're using basically nades to take down both of the windows at once, and now FaZe can go for whatever they want to here. So Skylight's gone. Molly's pretty much a plenty. Here comes the hit. So the two players setting up and 2 more running through, Keo being one of them, Rain being the other, and there's the entry. Massive work. Fur goes down, and look at this hit. All-encompassing, very hard to play back in toward, and SK are being dominated here. FaZe get it all for themselves. Bomb is now planted, and Taco and Fallen, where are you?
That execution was so nice, and SK had no indication it was coming. There was only one player in that site. Such an easy take. Molotovs everywhere to clear out all the good spots, you know, on top of the cross beams, on top of hut. No one is going to be in those positions whatsoever. That's sick. And Fallen and Taco, I mean, as we said, the economy for SK is gone, so they're just back in CT spawn. They have to save these guns. And now they're on the back foot. I mean, this is all they're going to have. Cold will be able to buy something, but, I mean, outside of this, they're in a very tough spot now on the CT side.
Yeah, this is almost, I'd say, first, well, not even first nail in the coffin. This is about 3rd or 4th at this point. SK, you know, this is dig deep time. This is not fun times going forward. Money's going to be poor, and we know what can happen when you don't have that full money for that utility either. Yeah. It becomes incredibly hard to stop players, and if FaZe already bringing up executes like this, look at this play. Okay, so on top of the huts, mollied, on top of sort of that new area, the little additional catwalk right across the middle on rafters, and straight away, Rain. What a powerful play from him as well.
One of the players dropped down vents. I'm wondering what was the indication that something was coming outside, and then Cold was stuck behind the smoke, obviously. So they just, I mean, that execute, the timing of it was just so perfect for that defensive SK. Everyone was going away from that upper site. So yeah, I mean, I think that was Fur that was just left all by his lonesome.
Poor old Fur. Yeah, not fun times now ahead.
No, not at all. Not at all if you're SK.
No, to be fair, I thought that if we were going to see FaZe win, it'd be off the back of, you know, really good individual mechanical skill, you know, doing very well for themselves. But it seems that Kerrigan really has had quite a nice effect to them already. It looks like their approach seems just very nicely robust.
And when you think about it as well, like the key to the good CT side rotations that we saw in a FaZe, I mean, with every team, all those rotations, that's all how well your communication is. And this is a team that is known for having multiple different primary languages involved in it, players from all different countries. So the communication, the comms, that was one thing that Kerrigan mentioned was a little bit tricky when he first joined. And now look at this, just picking up the pace. It's just going to be a rush towards the upper, the shotgun. This needs to come into play, and it is. There goes Kerrigan. No one else has made it out. Shotgun still going for more. Finds Q and finds Alu. 3 kills with the shotgun, and Fur saves SK for now.
I hate that spot for that one thing, whether it was MBK originally, Hiko doing it. There's so many times you see this happen. And I guess it's what's happened when you don't molly that sort of spot out. It allows players like this to do stuff like that on money that isn't phenomenal. So there's your window of opportunity now for SK. That's got them back in this game.
Yeah, and it's just a bummer for FaZe. They can't molly that top of hut when they do that fast of a tactic. So really, it's actually Fallen who gets, you know, the first kill that slows that down, that doesn't allow anyone to swing out wide in that bomb site and really have a good angle on the shotgun at top hut. There's that nade again to break out multiple windows. So this could be a quick execution again.
Yeah, we'll see if they go for the same sort of thing. This looks a little different here. Kerrigan just ensuring that, you know, Alu's work was good with the nade, just taking out everything possible now. So again, though, SK will sat there going, well, we don't know what they're doing. They've been doing this every round. They've done so much here. They've done the upper windows, they've done the smoke towards outside, but coldzera spotted out a little bit of trouble afoot. 3 players coming towards Secret. Rain being the first to fall, I can imagine here. Peeks over, instantly taken down. The flash not quite working out well enough, and Fallen still there checking as well. So T-Red's got 2 players in it, but they've got to be careful. Bomb is out there.
That's a nice forward flash from Fallen to prevent FaZe from pushing in on Taco now. He's going to have pressure. Is he aware? Is he ready? He adjusts nicely onto Kerrigan. He can't find Keo, though. But still, a lot of damage is dealt. It's a 4-on-3, and FaZe is in no position to take advantage of any kill they've gotten on Taco.
I'm wondering if Fallen's backed away towards spawn side, so waiting for this, and I wonder if Alu's going to try and swing out at the right time, try and find a bit of play here. Again, trying to support that bomb that's left on AZ.
This is where the strength for the CT side on Nuke can come into play, because this is with the man advantage. You turtle up, and that's a nice find from Fallen. He's just peeking outside, gets the information, but you know, pretty much all 3 players centralizing the bomb sites because of the vertical rotation. It's so quick, so just make sure. I mean, let him have outside, let him have ramp room, and just prevent any of the plants from coming in.
And as you could already see, Fallen was considering the spot where Keo was anyway, so this becomes a little bit more difficult. And then some. AZ's going to have to do something pretty impressive here, but Keo still finds Fallen. I'm not sure how that worked out. Maybe timing. He may have looked away at the wrong time, and Keo just came around. And that's opened up a little bit of chance here now. And I mean a little, because there's still so many players of standing for the CT side, and purely in good positions, not allowing FaZe to get a cheeky plant or get any sort of power towards that last couple of seconds in the round.
So many different locations at that point FaZe has to clear out, and even in 2-on-3. So nicely done. I think that forces a little bit of a rebuy of the AWP. I don't think they salvaged it. They might have.
I think coldzera drew... Who was it who dropped it? I'm pretty sure someone dropped it over. Or maybe coldzera just picked it up and dropped it out the ball, and I'm pretty sure I saw him.
Still, but either way, still a long way to go for SK. And they have 3 players who are pretty beat up on money, so if these Deagles have any success on the FaZe side of things, any kills they get here are extremely valuable. SK needs to keep as many players alive in this round. It's critical for them moving forward.
Not going to find too much there yet, Rain. There's a couple of players on the other side, and FNX, thank God there's another wall between him and those shots. Cold as well. Nothing hitting, though. Rain's giving it a good try, and coldzera's there just, like, sweating bullets at this point. Just don't hit me with that. AZ is 1 spots out. 1 performance quicker on the trigger there, and, of course, has an AWP, which is always a nice addition. Are they going for a run boost in here, or just a boost up top?
I think around the corner.
It was a run boost around the corner.
Yeah, well, it kind of works. Rain gets that kill. Carrion goes to salvage, but FNX is here holding down the fort.
Alu's got the bomb.
Yeah, he's gotten lower. He can get a plant here. I don't think anyone's here to prevent this. So, yeah, $800, extra $800 for FaZe. This is a very nice plant coming down from Alu. Unfortunately, with the Glock, he's got to feel pretty useless afterwards.
Yeah, like a chocolate fire guard. Not going to be able to do too much with that one.
Say a chocolate fire god?
Guard, yeah.
Okay.
You know when you got a fireplace?
Yeah.
Just imagine a chocolate fire guard or a chocolate teapot. Okay. Both.
The idea is that it melts very quickly.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
Is that a British saying?
The teapot one, certainly. I don't know about the fire guard, but we'll go for it. If you're wearing that nice jumper you had before, we could probably go down that road of, fire guards and such. But for now, 14-9, FaZe still on a very nice sort of round marker here. It takes very few mistakes, but SK are a team who certainly can achieve that. There's no one disputing that, but it takes a lot to be able to pull them through to this point. And again, they keep hold of the money they needed to. They didn't lose out on too much. Even though they got close with that bomb plant in the end, certainly going to give a little bit more towards FaZe now. Let's see what they can do. But Taco again, this is lovely. Again, pushing up, gets a little bit of nice control, a little bit more information, just a nice position they won't be expecting by this point, hopefully. I mean,
doing what Kerrigan did to SK in the first half, so this is going to be tricky. If they don't clear this out, and I mean, sometimes there's no reason to really come this if your end goal isn't even towards ramp room, so he's going to have a very quick flank. So you got to hope that, or if you're FaZe, you got to take this upper bomb site very quickly. You don't know this flank is going to come in, and here's Kerrigan leading the way. They finds him up top, but he gets blind at the wrong moment, and now this is going to be so much more difficult. There's Taco on the flank, getting 2 kills. AZ, last one left in a 1-on-4. Bomb is down and stuck behind smoke. What can you really expect from him here?
It was the same hit that we saw come out before. Rain last time really came through there. This time, no one rotated off that site. You still had FNX. And of course, as you highlighted, Taco on that quick rotate through from radio, pushing up through to pretty much right around the back.
And this is where you're going to see maybe SK able to claw themselves back in because they have the money now. And you can see how much more difficult it is to take this bomb site when you have utility. You can drop the Molotovs, you can drop the nades, you can throw the flashbangs into the air and slow down this hit. So a lot of tools now that SK has finally been able to afford in the second half.
It felt like it was a long time, this kind of very shaky, all right, we just got to keep holding on, and there it is. Finally, they've got the money, they've got everything they need. I'm not sure if I was going to hear everything boost-wise going on towards ramp, but again, in this round, you're down to Deagle's Tech 9s and P250s, a little bit of armor, or, you know, 2 pieces of armor, should I say. So, again, not a great deal, but any sort of damage is good damage at this point. If they can get SK just off that money they're starting to build in any way, shape, or form, it's good. And Fallen's desperate for a peek towards that outside area, but it is pretty tricky on the CT side. A lot of passive AWPers actually finding a little bit more form here on this one, just purely because of the fact you can fall away so far, and there we go. Finds AZ, but it will mean that actually Rain gets a little closer than maybe you'd like.
Yeah, I thought Fallen was playing with fire there a little bit, not having eyes on outside that whole time. It actually looked like, I mean, FaZe was going for a boost on those rafters to be able to spot him. And now, I mean, 1 kill from Alu, he gets traded off and Cold's up top, so they know he's boosted up, but here's the flash, the drop as well. He gets dinked up, traded. 2-on-2 scenario as Fallen gets dropped outside from Rain.
He didn't see Rain. Rain
gets
saw
to
him.
warehouse.
It must have been kind of 4:3 sort of aspect ratio there, because you could see him pretty clearly, if I'm honest. So Rain's now been given a huge opportunity. He's got the AWP here, maybe not something you've known Rain for, and maybe going to see a switch. There it is. So Kio's going to pick that one up. Again, he has no armor, so it makes more sense for him as well. Rain's going to have the M4, and here we go, 2v2. This could be huge for these guys. Fur and FNX have to deal with what's going their way now. Bomb's going to be planted, support coming in from up top. That's Rain, basically being this kind of bastion of defense coming through, and there it is. Bomb's now planted, and it's retake time for SK.
This is going to be awkward for Kio, though. Finding a position, he had to get away from danger from so many different angles. The timing of it, he spots FNX. Oh, the aim punch. He was scoped in, but he can't land it, and it's now Rain in a 1-on-2, and even he gets dropped. Fur picking an opportune moment to pounce. A chance there for FaZe. That got dicey, but a plant and a lot of damage done to the SK side.
Rounds around though. Again, SK get another on the board. They keep the AWP up, but I want to see the state of their money. If it's it's pretty decent now. Okay, that's good. That is very good for them. So they can actually weather the storm now. But for FaZe, they've got a really nice purchase coming in just a couple of seconds after this pause. Maybe a time for discussion because SK have stabilized.
Yeah, and this is all off the back of finally getting enough money. I mean, you can see they struggled in the first couple of rounds. That shotgun round from Fur, obviously building up huge bonus money as well when he got 3 kills, and from there it's really been all SK. So now they're starting to get a little bit of confidence, their feet under them, and now they're just grinding it back, grinding it back.
Sorry, what was that?
Grinding it back.
Grinding it back. Just wanted to clarify that one.
Third time's a charm.
It always is. But no, this is getting a little bit closer now. This is getting a little bit more exciting for me, at least, to seeing that SK have managed to get, as you highlighted, all that money beside them. Now I guess they don't fall to that kind of, well, Rain's just running up her and just take down someone. Or it doesn't feel as though FaZe have that explosive power that I was kind of expecting them to. Again, Alu's not been huge yet on the T side, comparison to maybe what he was doing on the CT side. But again, it's tough on the T side. This is the best buy they're going to have in a little bit of time now. So 14-11, this is a big chance for FaZe to close. But SK have a good read. They have good play so far. It looks like AZ speeding things up. And oh my word, Alu, a second's difference could have defined a lot about this round. But everyone stays alive. And again, Taco going walkabouts. Kio, will you know what's coming your way now?
This is one of those gimmicky plays that, because Nuke is so new into the map pool and not widely played, Kio might not be expecting this, but he spots him. The timing to pull out the nade, and Taco almost gets punished, but he does fall back. I mean, I want to see FaZe, one thing they can exploit, because we've seen in this CT side, the rotations from SK haven't always been solid or on point when they have to go down to that lower bomb site. So it would be interesting to see FaZe do that same kind of wall of smokes and a mass walk towards Secret, much like what SK was doing to them in the first half.
Yeah, no one's been jumping on that post just yet. It's just been coldzera, but coldzera can be pretty prevalent from this spot again, even though they have had pretty a sizable amount of losses on this map recently. He is still probably one of the players to keep your eyes on, especially if he gets a bit of play here. But surely either Alu or AZ is going to have to keep in mind that this is a possibility. The flash comes in, doesn't really set up coldzera, but he does take a wider peek, so spots that no one's up on that catwalk. Alu, though, going to go up on towards T-Red, checking for that AWP presence. Is Fallen going to dare to do it? No, but coldzera picks his time well, and there it is. Alu goes down, but the response comes in. Finally, FaZe on even kind of playing field here, 4v4.
Yeah, and AZ's even lurking outside. So in fact, he's gonna come out of vent. So I mean,
Where
this
is
bomb
Rain?
can get planted. Yeah, they're all down in lower bomb site. They've taken this, so the bomb's gonna get planted. AZ's position is so strong, especially Kio with that kill. Good find, good awareness, and Taco's out, or I mean, excuse me, Cold's out, and that Molotov is gonna slow everything down. So AZ, this is perfect for him.
He doesn't wait. He takes the shot while he has it, and Fallen just doesn't respond. Maybe accepting his fate by that point. And now 1v4 FNX. You gotta go big or go home, and there it is. 15 rounds now sitting with FaZe. They've finally broken back in, 4 staying alive, and I don't know what to say. That's got to hurt for SK Gaming here.
That's a kick in the teeth. So that really, really hurts because, I mean, nice kill onto Taco, and that's the thing. This is where the rotations come into play because we saw that kill come out on Taco, and it was basically a 4-on-4 after Cold gets this kill as well. But there was no one in the lower bomb site. As soon as that kill from Taco, the bomb's being planted like 10 seconds later. No one getting down there to stall things out. No one having any kind of presence whatsoever. So a little bit worrying that SK hasn't been able to get into this lower bomb site in time on the defense.
Keo.
That's one of those low percentage
Ouch.
fights. If DDK was here, it'd be, you know, he'd be like, what's the plus minus EV expected value of this play? If you were playing poker, this would not be a good play to make. Low winning percentage.
No, but Keo, Taco's been pushing up every round, and of course that round he just trickles that nade right into the pocket of Keo. So that's not a fun one to be on the receiving end of, but nonetheless it's good for SK finally getting a non-traded beginning here. No one to answer back. Rain not going to find that frag to kind of pull things back to that 4v4. This time around, we're in this nice advantage for SK. They can keep some control. Taco hasn't had to fall back yet, but spots out Rain and plays it well already. Keep himself in this round. There's still 2 players about to encroach towards him if Alu joins Rain, that is. But Taco's in a good spot again, but Alu, where is it? Why? Fallen was pushing up towards lobby?
Yeah, I mean, he just gives the frag right back. FaZe didn't have to go searching for that. So the equalizer, and there's Rain onto first. So now everything's starting to collapse. The upper bomb site, it's going to be lost pretty soon. And Kerrigan, he knows what's coming. AZ with another kill. There's Kerrigan finally, and it's just down to Taco. He knows what's coming. He hears it, and that's going to be it. Kerrigan shuts it down. A double kill for him in the last, and FaZe take out SK 16-11.
That scoreline is just...
That play from Fallen, this is a team that's generally... we've always sung their praises when they've been such a strong team that they're so good at man advantage situations, they just don't lose them. So it's very curious to see Fallen giving up that kill.
I don't know if he overread into maybe Taco's call, saying, okay, they're coming ramp, they're at radio,
Yeah,
maybe trying to do more, but a very dangerous sort of approach there to go, well, I'll just push Hut, go into lobby. It's, you know, again, those kind of risk-reward things, and this time he gets very, very punished for it.
Yeah, extremely punished. But I mean, speaking of punished, that was a punishing first half. That CT side from FaZe was so incredible.
Yeah, their map pool is going to be starting to look more and more robust, and that becomes a little bit troublesome for everyone else sitting in that group side as well, because, you know, FaZe coming into this probably wouldn't be the team you'd put right at the top. You'd say they're certainly a contender, but I wouldn't say
Definitely
above
wouldn't
SK.
have. Coming into this, I doubt there were many people who picked FaZe to like win this or just outright destroy this group.
No, absolutely not. But so far, they've certainly looked like a team who's been, you know, able to turn up and then some. Looking very good today. I think the matter of consistency and be able to turn up throughout this tournament will be something we'll be looking at. Be able to kind of keep this sort of pressure up will be very impressive. But that's yet to be seen. It looks like they are looking probably the safest in this group so far. I'm pretty sure they're almost into playoffs here at this point already.
Yeah, it's got to be pretty close to certain, I believe.
I can imagine, what, have they got 4 wins so
Yeah,
far?
they're 4-0.
Yeah, they are definitely sorted. I can imagine FaZe then, a little bit of sweat off the brow, they'll be comfortable with that one and a very good performance and looking like their map pool is even better. But I can imagine the analysis area has something about to say about that one, I can imagine. So Alex, take it away.
Will do, guys. Yes, no doubt they were safe. In fact, they were probably safe with 3 under their belt. But picking up the 4th and now looking oh so scary ahead of coming into the playoffs now. I mean, this is a win versus SK Gaming. And SK Gaming that just got a revenge versus Cloud9. This is FaZe on a level that I don't think was anticipated by any coming into this tournament. This is such a quick rise from the ashes, really.
Yeah, and even at the iBuy Power tournament, I mean, they look strong, they look good, but definitely not a team that we would think would just be 4-0 right now, especially beating SK. I think, you know, SK, I said it during the pregame, I think it was a mistake to leave Nuke in there. It's not their most played map. They usually ban it, so I was a little surprised by that, but I mean, Rain was incredible, man. That guy was absurd.
But this is what's so beautiful is when every time we come to a post-match with FaZe is we find ourselves singing someone else's praises. It's AZ, what a game on Overpass. Rain, what a game on, you know, on Nuke. We've even sat there saying the same thing about Alu. I mean, this is we're working our way through their roster. These individuals, as you would expect, have been firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, and I mean, they're